everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 10, Episode 2. So, how was everyone's weekend? I hope it was good. I chilled this weekend. I didn't think about reviewing nothing. I just kind of, chilled out. I think I only did one review yesterday. Late yesterday. So, I had a good weekend getting ready for this work week. And yeah, so whatever. This was a good episode. I do like the direction the show is going. It doesn't seem too ratchet yet. I'm not questioning, well, I am questioning some people's storyline. We'll get about that till later. The one thing I want to bring up initially, Sheree. I don't know who is your hair person, but whoever has you in that blonde wig and that weird ponytail bun, half down, half ponytail, half swoop bun in the middle. I don't know who told you to do those, boo-boo. Them not working. No, at all. Like, I know the show already shot and they already done cut and pasted it in. But whoever you use for them looks, don't use them no more. No. And I get, you want to be, people want to experiment with their hair. You want to be fun, throwing a wig here and there. But not on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Not for your confessional look. Just don't do it. So I just had to point that out because it was kind of driving me crazy a little bit. So we see the beginning. Cynthia on TV, she's shooting her shot. She is a woman of a certain age. She's 50 years old now. She's currently single because she's divorced from Peter, as we all know. And she on TV taking herself a bath. And that wasn't a regular bath. That wasn't it's been a long day, I just want to cleanse. No, that wasn't I'm taking a bath to cleanse my body. That was a let me show them that I'm 50 but I still look good bath. Let me luxuriate in this water and let me have the bubbles cover what is supposed to be covered, and let me shoot my shot to say I might be 50 years old and single at Lay Bailey, but I still want a man. Come through, Cynthia, and let them know that you say, as she said, she don't want to be single her whole life. She do want to date someone else, and I feel like she shot her shot on TV. I don't care what nobody say, cause I'm like, she really shot a bathtub scene. Okay, Cynthia. Okay, we gonna, see what it is. The next episode, the next scene we see. We at Porsha's house. And I'm like, why is Porsha at her house? And it's a baby room. Porsha ain't got no kids. And I'm like, oh, it's for her sister. So we see as Porsha say her sister and her sister baby daddy is going through some things. So her sister gonna spend some time with her. Porsha's sister Lauren and her baby daddy ain't together. And she ain't got nowhere else to stay, so she's staying with Porsha. And let's just call a spade a spade. Which ain't nothing wrong with that. When you go through things with your man, your boyfriend, your baby daddy, y'all break up, you supposed to be able to go to your family's house. I get it. But, you know what I'm saying? Let's not try to word this as in they had an argument. No. Because when you have just a regular little argument, you don't move into your sister house who's shooting a reality show. That ain't what you do. Okay? But I also feel like they did that because Porsha needs someone to shoot scenes with. Ain't nobody else really trying to shoot with Porsha like that. So if she's shooting scenes with her sister, that's her storyline. Yep, she ain't gonna fool me. So, but I feel like that's gonna be a whole mess within itself. I feel like Porsha and Lauren are two different people. I feel like Porsha still has some growing to do, and hopefully Lauren grew up because she's a mother. And living with somebody with a kid is crazy. Because babies are messy, they loud, they run around, they break stuff, they make a mess. And Porsha was getting mad just because Lauren was walking on her white rug. You can't have no white rug with kids. No, it's difficult. So, they on the kitchen talking. It was Lauren, it was Porsha, Porsha's mom was there. And I'm guessing the other lady there was maybe Porsha's mom's sister. Or it must have been Porsha's mom, somebody. I don't think it was Lauren's mom, because we do know that Porsha and Lauren have two different mothers. And I only say that because at one point Lauren said to the other lady, yeah, y'all used to live together, right, when y'all was younger? And I'm just assuming that Porsha mama and Lauren mama wasn't friends back in the day, since they slept with the same man. But yeah. So, but anywho, they were talking, and Porsha was bringing up how my hair. Y'all know how I'm funny about my damn hair. I'm gonna be acting stupid. Porsha brings up the party that she was at for, who party was it? Yeah, Cynthia's party where she was, talking to Nene and them or whatever. And she's like, yeah, Nene was there. She was being shady. I just feel like, Nene's a backstabber. She's a backstabber. She was trying to drag me. She was basically lying about being harsh about me being fired. And this is my thing about that. Is Nene lying when she say that she didn't say Porsha didn't get fired? Technically, no. I mean, did she insinuate Porsha should be fired? Yes. But the thing is, someone asked her who she thought should be fired from the show or who should be let go from the show. And she gave her opinion, as I said last week. Porsha, you need to get over that. Everybody know when anybody gonna watch What Happens Live and they ask these questions, the people just answer the questions. That wasn't her backstabbing you, because at that point, as y'all both said before, y'all weren't friends. Y'all hadn't talked in a while. Y'all hadn't talked in like over a year. So her saying, if anyone needs to go, it was you and Phaedra. She wasn't backstabbing you. She was speaking her truth, because at that time, you and Phaedra was coming up with a whole fake ass storyline about Candy drugging you. So that was the reason she said it. So girl, I need you to get over that shit and move on. So the next thing that we see, Miss Cynthia is at a house. And I'm like, why is she at an abandoned house? Is she about to get murdered? Like, is they filming murder scenes on the Housewives of Atlanta? And it looked like a vacant building. And then when she called somebody and she's like, I think I'm in the wrong place. And he like, you have some stairs? And I'm like, is you calling the murderer? So she walk up these stairs, and then the murderer starts walking towards her. And I'm like, no, Cynthia, go the other way. But it's her date. And as he gets closer, I'm like, oh, okay, he's a nice looking gentleman, all up in the face. Okay, it's a little date. He blindfolded and everything. We found out that she's been on the date. This is like their third or fourth date. And his name is Evan. And he blindfolded her as a surprise. He's like, oh, surprise. It's a surprise photo shoot. I'm like, what if she didn't want to do a photo shoot today? Like, is that a real date? And then I also feel like, is he an opportunist because she's a supermodel? We find out he's a photographer, and he's shooting photos of her. So now he has basically, that's the part of his portfolio, is what I'm saying, because, it is what it is. But he turns out to be, a nice, cool guy. But I was still like, I wouldn't want that date. I would have said, don't surprise me with an impromptu photo shoot. Surprise me with an impromptu date to build my brand up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you taking photos of me is building my brand, because I'm already a model. People already know I take great photos. But what it was. It was still a nice gesture. She appreciated it too. Even though at first she was like, this is different. You know what I'm saying? But she still had fun. She said what I kept thinking, like, he looked like somebody, but I can't think of who it is. And she was like, he looks like Norbert. He's like like Norbert with swag. And I was like, he do look like Norbert. He sure does. And I said he also reminds me of, the Family Matters show. You had Steve Urkel and you had Stefan Urkel. He is Stefan Urkel. You know what I'm saying? He ain't Steve Urkel. He's Stefan Urkel. He is the cute, sexy, suave, debonair version of a geek. And I thought it was cute. So, he takes it to another part of this. I'm going to keep saying this. It's an abandoned building. I guess it's really his studio. And we know photographers are different, and they like industrial stuff. They different. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't abandoned because they had lights and all that stuff. But he takes her to another room within his building, and he had a romantic dinner set up. I'm like, oh, it was roses and petals and candles and everything. It was just beautiful. I'm like, okay, now that's a surprise. I like that part of it. Come to find out, he is only 29. When she met him, he was 28. But when someone introduced them or told her about him, they lied and said that he was like 32. But 28 and 32, is next door neighbor. So it ain't like they said, you know what I'm saying, he 32 and he was 18. I mean, he is clearly legal. And, you know, he's a cute little something. But she admits to him that, you know, we're going to just be friends because I can be honest and I can tell you that, you know, it sucks because you're so great. However, I can't get over the age difference. And I'm like, oh, little ting ting, you know, little Evan. But, you know, it is what it is. But they do have a nice little dinner. We see a scene where Sheree goes to see her life coach, whose name just happens to be Jack Daniels. His parents must have been alcoholics or something, because I think when people name their kids after liquor, you have to be a drinker, and I just think it's crazy. So I kept laughing when she walked in. It was the receptionist guy at the front, and he was sitting in one place. Like, okay, have a seat. He'll be up in 1 second. And then she went and sat down, and I'm like, oh, they got glass walls. You can just see into everybody's office. And then her life coach was like sitting right there. So I'm like, he ain't see her walk in through the glass. And that's me just being petty. So she's talking to him, and basically she wants to talk to him about the baggage that she has from the, I'm going to say alleged, okay? Because I don't know that man, I don't know that lady. From the alleged abuse of her ex-husband, Bob Whitfield. And she just wants to kind of talk about it, kind of unpack, kind of just deal with it. And, you know, she says she hopes it'll help her be a better person, a better mother, a better just woman overall, if she can kind of get through this situation. Now, she was tearing up and everything, seeing how he, you know, it was a lot of mental and emotional abuse from Bob. Now, I remember last season when they were on that trip and they were in that car, and she was saying, you know, you used to abuse me or something that they said, how they got the argument, they was on their way home, and then he made a very, very, very inappropriate joke and said, well, if I choked you, I didn't choke you hard enough, or something like that. But he was saying that he didn't remember choking her, but if he did choke her, he should have choked her harder. That was his very, 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 very inappropriate way of joking about something that he was uncomfortable about, and he needs to work on that, his damn stuff. But Sheree has never really talked about it before. That was kind of the first time anyone else had heard about any kind of abuse between them. And, you know, she was on that show for seasons and seasons. It never came up. And, you know, no one knew, except at one time when Kenya said that she used to be abused, and she said she wasn't. I guess she was. But I feel like I'm not gonna say that yet. But she was basically saying how she hasn't told her kids yet, and she wants to tell her kids, but she doesn't know how. So the life coach said, okay, I want you to practice. I want you to get some of your friends together and just have a conversation with them as if they're your kids, and then try to do that first, and then we'll figure out how you can tell your kids too. Now, what I was about to say, I feel like last season, Sheree, it came out that things happened. We didn't know what. But I feel like Sheree made it seem like Bob was beating her ass and ain't nobody know. I feel like this season, in this setting, she's saying it was a lot of emotional, mental, and like verbal abuse. And I feel like abuse of any kind is bad, whether it's verbal, emotional, spiritual, physical, you know, all of it. I just hope, this is my hope, and this is not me victim blaming or nothing. This is my personal opinion. I hope she isn't using this as a storyline this season, if it's not wholeheartedly true. Like, I don't want it to be a thing to where she kind of insinuates he was physically abusive if he really wasn't. Like, if he was verbally and mentally abusive, like, be true to that. Say that. But I think it's a weird thing where she won't really say it was physical. She alludes to it. I feel like if you want to really heal from abuse, you need to face it head on. You can't tiptoe around it, because it can make people be like, well, why she say one thing, this thing where he was choking her, but now she's saying now it was more, you know, physical, it was more mental and emotional. I just want I don't want her story to be misconstrued as just for a storyline. I need her to just live your truth, and whatever it was, say what it was, but don't leave any room for people to weave in and out of your life or the past of your situation and pick at it. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't want that to happen. So, but yeah, but I hope whatever happens, she gets it together. Next we see Kenya and Cynthia hanging out there like a little park, walking Kenya's dogs and everything. And Kenya saying, I can't believe I'm married. Did I really get married? Did I really walk down the aisle? I can't believe it. Well, hell, neither can America. Truth be told, people don't believe you married, boo. And it's a sad thing to say that they don't believe she's married. But they don't believe she's married because of how she has handled herself in past seasons. Strictly because she has always, always, always been the person to live her truth. And whatever she doing is on the show. And then you out the blue elope with some man that you don't want to talk about. It's weird. So people don't believe it just because you not being the person who you've made them believe you were for all these other seasons. You out the blue, like, I'm gonna keep this quiet, nip tucked and in my bosom, and can't nobody get to it. And people like, wait, that ain't what she usually do. So is she really married? It doesn't make it right for them to assume that, but it's a reason they assume it is based on your history. People forget that when you have a history of being a certain way or doing certain things, when you change up, it shocks people initially. You know what I'm saying? It really does. And Kenya is a prime example to how that happens to people in life. So, she was saying how she met her husband through Chef Roble, who used to have a show on Bravo. And I wish he would come back. I love Chef Roble. He's a celebrity chef, which is a chef in general. I loved his show. I do follow him on social media, though. But anywho, so she said how she met him through Chef Roble. At a restaurant in New York that her husband actually owns. After he left, like Chef Roble just kept talking about him, and, speaking him up. And I'm looking like, was Chef Roble pimping him out? What was going on here? And, she says that he's a former Wall Street banker. He is currently an entrepreneur who owns several businesses. But go ahead for yourself, be that black man. She did say they did not start dating for months after they met. She said basically because she had to work on herself before she got into another relationship after the whole Matt situation. I think that is very smart because we know the whole Matt situation, it was crazy. It was fucking bananas. But Kenya says how her husband is very overwhelmed with the attention, the conversation, the rumors about their marriage and about them dating because he's a very, very private person. He isn't used to being in the media. And for me, I call bullshit. You can't say I'm a private person, so I can't believe all this attention I'm getting. When you marry a woman on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I feel like when you marry someone, you should get to know who they are. So did he marry you and didn't know who you were? Did he? Because clearly if y'all got married, that means y'all got to know each other. If you know how private of a person he is, he should know how public you are. You aren't a private person, and I feel like a private person can't marry a public person. It doesn't work. You both have to have the same goals as far as how your relationship and your life will be ran. And it doesn't mean if he's private, she can't be public at all, but you can't marry a person who wants to keep their life off social media, off the internet, off TV, and your wife is on a reality TV show. It's damn near impossible. It is. And I say it's impossible only because Kenya is a very public person. Someone brought up how on the Shire of Sunset, I think it's like Jermaine Jackson Jr. I don't watch that show, so I'm not sure. But I know how I've heard I think it's like Jermaine Jackson Jr.'s wife is on the show, and they say how after all the seasons she's been on that show, you've only seen him maybe twice. He isn't on the show. And to me, that's shocking. You know what I'm saying? But I think the Shire of Sunset is a little bit different, only because I don't know them people. So for me, I can't say, well, his wife is out there, because I don't know it. So for me, I'm like, it's different because I don't know that show. I know Kenya lives her whole life publicly, or she has since she's been on the Housewives. So girl, I call bullshit on that one, because he should know he ain't stupid. He a businessman, he an entrepreneur, he has been, he should know, he should have common sense about the situation. So next, Candy meets up with Shamea, and they're at like a African garb wardrobe store because Shamea is getting married in Kenya in Africa, and they have to get something to wear to the ceremony or whatever. We see that also Sheree comes by too. It was a quick little thing. Basically, we find out from that scene that Porsha has told Shamea that she's not coming to the wedding. Now, remember, Porsha is supposedly Shamea's best friend, even after all this craziness that happened last season, where Porsha was allowing Phaedra to say that Candy and Shamea was having a lesbian affair. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. So, Shamea's like, well, yeah, I told Porsha that she wasn't coming. She basically said the tickets to fly was too expensive. They were like $10,000. And, she don't want to pay 10 grand to fly there. And Sheree's so messy. She said, but Candy, when your tickets like $5,000? And she was like, yeah. And I have several friends of mine who are going, so I'm surprised that she wouldn't go. So Candy in her confessional said, she should just say she don't want to go. Don't blame her. You can't afford to go. Just say no, not Candy. Shamea said that. Shamea said she should just say, I don't want to pay that money to come to your wedding because I don't really fuck with you like that. I agree. You know what I'm saying? That's true. Just admit that's the reason you're not going. Because we know Porsche fly wherever, and you pay whatever. It is what it is. And if you say you balling like that, ain't you rich, girl? Stop being petty. But Candy says how she's happy that Porsha isn't going simply because she don't have to be fake and be around her. She doesn't have to, engage with any kind of conversations. I would feel the same way. So we see a scene of Kenya at her house, and she is trying on her wedding dress and showing her dogs her wedding dress. I mean, I guess if you can't show your husband show the wedding dress, I guess you have to do what you have to do to get a storyline. It's just weird because I don't know. I don't know what to feel about it. I don't want to be like, she lying. She ain't really married. Because we ain't seen this man. All we saw was them have a wedding and that was it. I don't want to say that. But I feel like something is up. She says how, he has business in New York. Her business is in Atlanta. So they don't stay together. It's like until they can get it figured out, that's how things will be. I feel like people who live in two different states who can't, before you get married, you should figure out where y'all gonna live. Because what's the point of getting married and then not being together? That's something else that make people say, are they really married? Because who does that? Like, who marries someone who lives out of state and then y'all have had no conversation about, okay, I know you stay in New York and I stay in Atlanta, so are we going to still have our separate lives and be married? Then then no point in getting married. But can you do something that's stupid? So, she not sitting in her closet with a damn veil on, and she on the phone with her friend, the Brandon dude, just saying how, the media is being crazy, and this is all these stories, saying that she pay for him? Was he a paid person to be her husband? Is her marriage really real? And she's like, my husband didn't sign up for this crazy. He signed up for me. But Kenya, you are crazy, okay? I mean, we love you. We love you crazy. But you crazy. So my thing is, when he signed up and he married Kenya Moore is a castmate on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And every guy she dates is a story on social media, on the blogs, and the gossip sites. As a businessman, he should have known that, because as a businessman, before you sign on a dotted line for any deal, you look into what the deal is going. What is it going to take you through? Is I'm going to get bad press because the place I'm buying used to sell sex slaves to Africans? You know what I'm saying? You just have to, I don't know where that came from. But you look into what you're investing yourself in. So how can he be an entrepreneur, businessman, if he married a woman that he did not look into? And if he looked into you and he saw this is what she's about, I know what I'm getting myself into. You knew what you was getting yourself into, because you should have seen what happened the seasons prior with the whole Walter thing, with the whole Matt thing. I'm like, is it for TV? Is this for her storyline? Because I feel like it's impossible for a successful entrepreneur man who owns several businesses to not be aware of the craziness that would happen when you marry Kenya Moore, who has been looking for a husband for years on reality TV. I just call bullshit. So, she's saying how for him it's hard to deal with. I call bullshit, like I said. She then goes and she's crying to the producers like, I'm having a bad day. It's just so much to go on. We were supposed to go meet with go to church to have the pastor bless our union, but it's just so much on him. He's not eating, he's not sleeping. He has his ex-girlfriends sending him stories about me from years ago when I was like 25. What does that have to do with, who I am today? And it's just a mess. I don't want to get divorced. And my thing is, as a smart man, as a smart woman, this should not be shocking to y'all at all. It shouldn't. I mean, is it fair that that's what's happening to them? No. Would I have seen it coming? Absolutely. I can't go marry, who's somebody famous? I can't go marry Chris Brown and people be like, girl, he what he did to Rihanna. Girl, he did that. Girl, he did that. Or people just saying to him, you married a girl who do YouTube reviews. You know what I'm saying? You know what's going to be things because of who you're marrying. Because you look into who you're marrying. You can't be shocked. So, girl, bye. So, there's a scene where Sheree brings like 3 of her friends to Candy's house. And it's basically the homework that her therapist told her to do. This is going to be real quick, actually. She brings 3 of her friends, Candy, and she's saying to them, I have to talk to my kids about the abuse stuff, and I don't know where to start. So my therapist or my life coach said to, start with some friends to see how I can get the strength up to have the conversation. So, Candy kind of shows her a way that she can do it so it's a thing where her friends play her or play the kids, and they just talking or whatnot. It was a cool scene. She eventually had a conversation with them as if it was her kids, and the friends asked questions that the kids would ask to show her how she may have to respond to the kids. And when one friend said, she's like, it was, things went on between me and your father, there was some abuse, and the one friend said, like, fights? And then she said, yeah, there were fights, yeah, that happened. She's like, no, like real fights, like really? And she said, yeah, we had some fights. That's when I say, like, I need her to be just more transparent on what those fights are. I'm not saying give a blow by blow if he punched me in the face and I fell to the floor. But just if you can say, yes, he physically abused me. Or no, he didn't physically abuse me. However, he did intimidate me physically. He did intimidate me physically, which means I was physically scared of him. I think there's a difference. Or say, yes, he did mentally and verbally and emotionally abuse me. But it's the thing when they say, like, really fights? She said, well, yeah, we had fights. I have fights too, but my fights aren't always physical. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she's leaving the door open to interpretation of what it is and not saying what it is. But I'm like, maybe she's going to save that for when she's talking to her children. But that's just my point of view on it. So that's all that little scene was. Noelle got a boyfriend. He lives in Charlotte. She wanted to go see him for the weekend. That was really it. Noelle is 17. I still think that's young to let her go off and visit her boyfriend in another state. But, I think kids in that industry, when their parents are famous, they grow up a little bit faster. Noelle seems like a very well-mannered girl, but that's what they show on TV. I don't know her in real life. So, I thought that was cool. Her mom had a joking conversation when her mom admitted that she had been on a date with a 29-year-old. I thought that was cute when they talked about it. Noelle laughed like, he's almost half your age, He's probably young enough for me to date. I thought that was a funny, conversation between the two. And that was really it with that scene. So, it was what it was. So, the last scene was basically Shamea's bridal shower. Only Candy and Sheree was there. Candy and Sheree was there first. Then Porsha and Lauren showed up. And y'all know Candy don't fuck with Porsha. You know what I'm saying? We know that. I don't know why Porsha seemed like she just forgot that, even though it's clear and it's apparent. So when Candy and Sheree is sitting at the table, Porsha decided to come sit down there too. So, Candy does say hello. She does not do a hug, and she is aware that she don't want to hug Porsha. Porsha sit down, and after the show, like after Porsha was sitting there for however long, a few minutes, 10 or whatever, Candy got up and she walked away because Candy does not want to be in that social setting with Porsha. She doesn't. She doesn't want to be forced to have a conversation with Porsha. If it's only like 2 or 3 people, she walking away just to avoid even having to have a fake conversation with her. I see that. Porsha like, no, Sheree was like, that was awkward. And Porsha like, yeah, I want it to be as less awkward as possible. This is the bridal shower. We're going to let it be what it be. So from there, Sheree like, hey, are you going to the wedding? Now, Sheree fake as hell. Not fake. She petty, okay? She's very petty because she know Porsha not going to the wedding because Shamea told Sheree that Porsha wasn't going to the wedding. So Porsha says, no, I'm not going to the wedding. She's like, oh, you're not? And she was like, no, I can't go. I can't even deal with this girl. She's like, no, I can't fly and coach. I can't sit up like that, because of my condition. Sheree was like, what condition? What are you talking about? Porsha going on to say, because when she said I can't be sitting up like that and coach because of my condition, and it was like, she was like, say what now? Because when she said it, it was like, your condition, you can't go to your best friend's wedding because you can't fly and coach because you have a condition. Like, is your condition you against coach? Like, is it cheap seats? I mean, I was confused. Like, what condition is it that you can't fly coach? Like, I don't understand that. And it was just so weird. She was like, my condition, I have this condition. And then Sheree was like, what's the name of it? Now, she said a condition. I can't pronounce it at all, and I ain't going to try to. But it's spelled VASOVAGAL. SYNCOPE. So it's 2 words, the V word and the S word, 2 different words. And she was like, well, so Sheree was like, well, what's the condition basically? What's wrong? And she was like, well, basically I have low blood pressure. And I'm like, bitch, that ain't the condition that have anything to do with flying. Like, I didn't get the correlation between the two. So I Googled this disease. Okay, I Googled this condition, and it says that the VS word occurs when you faint because your body overreacts to certain triggers, such as the sight of blood or extreme emotional distress. It may also be called neurocardiac. Another damn word I can't pronounce. We ain't gonna worry about that. But it also says it's usually harmless and requires no treatment. So what condition do your ass have? Okay? I was just like, why did she really use that as a reason that she couldn't go somewhere? I was like, bitch, did you really? Did you really, Porsha? Because you're lying. And I'm just like, girl, bye. So, so we had that whole thing. And I'm like, Porsha's crazy. This is a fake ass condition. I think she really do faint. But I'm like, you faint ain't got nothing to do with you flying coach. It's 2 different things. So, they had the whole shower. The girls played some games. It was fun. So now they all sitting at the table. And when they sit at the table, Shamea brings up how she was shocked that because Shamea's husband, I think he's African. They're both African of Africa. We are African, let's be honest. But she says they had like a tribal ceremony that makes them legally married to his tribe of people. But she's like, no, we need a legal ceremony because my culture, we have to sign on that line and take to the courthouse. But the other ceremony they had, she said, she was saying how she was surprised that Porsha actually came and Porsha was there. And, Porsha like, well, why was you shocked? And she's like, well, we don't really hang out like that anymore. So I was just shocked you came. We haven't hung out in forever, and plus you're not even coming to my wedding. So, yeah, I was shocked. So Porsha, like, she was saying how she feel like her being there isn't good enough at this bridal shower. But, I mean, you're not coming to my wedding. So, I would prefer you came to my wedding. And Porsche don't get that she just seem fake. Okay, it does. it's some fakeness going on, this whatever. So Candy, was saying how in her confessional, Porsha dog Shamea last year. She kind of did different things, so she not a good friend. So it's like, I just feel like Shamea don't even need her as a friend. I personally agree, because my thing is, if that's your best friend and y'all had some kind of falling out, you fix it before you make it seem like nothing really happened and we cool. You can't be like, well, I'm coming around, but we ain't had that conversation. You know what I'm saying? We haven't fixed it. You just still come around when you see fit. And I would be the same, like, girl, whatever. So, it was funny because they're like, well, yeah, why can't you go again? She's like, well, it's because of my health. Remember I sent you the stuff? And she was like, well, I didn't read it because I was mad. Well, I thought you would have read it because it's about my health. It's like, well, no, I didn't. So explain to me what the condition is. And she go again, it's like, physically, I can't be a coach. Bitch, yes, you can. You can fly coach. You can. Girl. Is it stressful to fly a coach? I mean, I flew before in coach. I was stressed because I do not like flying. I am terrified of flying. But if I wasn't scared to fly, flying a coach or flying in first class, you still on the plane. It is what it is. Candy laughing because Carmen there, and Carmen cracking jokes. And she like, Phaedra, I'm not Phaedra, Lord Jesus. Porsha always got a doctor's note when she want to do something. And they showed flashbacks of Porsha pulling out doctor's notes as to why she can't do stuff. I'm looking like, Porsha do always have a doctor's note why she can't physically do something, because she's Porsha. Then she said, well, yeah, she probably, can't be on the plane that long with her legs down because she used to her legs being up in the air. I'm like, Carmen, and she cracking these jokes. And Porsha sitting right there, and I'm looking like, oh my God, that was just hilarious to me. It was just so funny. So Candy's saying how Porsha just needs to say she don't want to go. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about how much it costs. It ain't about no condition, because she's like, Porsha fly anywhere else she wants to go. You don't want to go to Shamea's wedding, period. It's not about any kind of condition. And Porsha's like, she felt like she's been singled out in front of the Candy Coated Nights crew. And I'm like, Porsha, get your own crew. You know what I'm saying? Get the Porsha's pets. Have the Porsha pets crew. And then y'all go to stuff, and y'all can be your own clique. Y'all can be your own crew. You can't say it's the Candy Coated Night clique just because Candy has friends with her, and you don't have no friends except your sister. That's your fault, okay? So let's not act like you being exposed in front of Candy. Girl, you will be exposed in front of whoever, because people gonna think it's weird that you ain't going to your best friend's wedding. But, it is what it is. So the ending scene is, Porsha got up and left, and some kind of way, Shamea went onto her car, and now they in the car arguing. So Shamea in the car, Porsha in the car. Porsha saying how, it's like you bring up stuff in front of other people to make me look bad. Why are you shocked that I'm at every event? And then Shamea saying like, you haven't been the best friend, especially since this whole, Phaedra gate and this Phaedra bullshit that happened. You put Phaedra before me. You could ask Candy. I would never put Candy before you. And they're just kind of going back and forth. And neither one... Well, Porsha isn't hearing Shamea. I can say that. Because, again, Porsha trying to act like everything is cool. I don't have anything to say sorry for. And then if I have said sorry, you should just accept it. But my thing is, you saying sorry but not acknowledging or realizing what you've done wrong makes your apology not worth it, because you don't even know why you're saying sorry. So when Shamea said, you have to see my side of things too and how I feel, and Porsha said, well, no, I don't. I'm tired of saying anybody else is sad. Shamea said, well, fuck it, it doesn't matter. And then Lauren like, I gotta get my baby. And then this episode goes off. So I mean, Porsha don't even need to be on the show anymore. They can, just put somebody else on there. Maybe that's why they're bringing in Eva. Maybe Eva will be the new Porsha. Anywho, that is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm about to watch the Escape show, so I can do that next. And then The Walking Dead. So, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Until next time, people. Peace.